When it comes to hip-hop subgenres, they don't really come much more niche than rage beats. But that hasn't stopped the sound from blowing up, so in today's video, we're gonna cover how artists like Yeat, Ken Carson, and Carti fueled the rage wave and how it took over TikTok and the charts. But first, if you love keeping up with the latest trends in music and fashion, make sure you subscribe for new videos every week. Thanks for your support. So rage beats are a subgenre of trap that emerged online in 2019. The defining feature of this style is its frenetic energy, and that energy is created by speeding up the tempo, warping the pitch, and adding heavy distortion to the vocals, all while creating an ominous atmosphere through dark, ominous lyrics and 808s. Now at its core, rage beats is just another example of artists experimenting in the studio and fans gravitating towards their favorite sounds. But what makes this story interesting is the trajectory of the genre, because while rage beats was initially an underground sound, it soon became a viral sensation. The breakout moment came in 2021 when the Southside produced City Girls hit Pussy Talk sampled the Southside beat Let's Go Crazy shortly after Lil Uzi Vert hopped on the track, and shortly after that, it had racked up over 10 million streams. This introduced the sound to a whole new audience and opened the door for rage beats to take over TikTok. But there were already artists who were capitalizing on the trend before this. One of the first artists to fully embrace the genre was Yeat. He was one of the most prominent faces of rage beats throughout 2021, and that is because his music perfectly embodies the genre's manic energy. But Yeat didn't just appear out of nowhere. In fact, he'd been grinding since 2016, and prior to releasing his breakout hit Get Busy, he'd already accumulated a cult following thanks to mixtapes like Sorry About That and Pharrell. But it was Get Busy that served as his official introduction into the mainstream. It peaked at number 31 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it established Yeat as one of the most exciting new artists. He followed up the success of Get Busy with the release of his debut studio album, To a Livy, which featured the hit single Money So Big. And while Yeat is undoubtedly one of the biggest names in the rage beats movement, he's far from the only one. Ken Carson is another artist who found mainstream success with the release of his debut album, X6000. The album spawned the hit singles Dusseldorf and Teen X and established Ken Carson as a leading member of the rage beats collective known as Opium. But while Yeat and Ken Carson were finding commercial success, the king of rage beats was having a different type of success. Playboi Carti's self-titled album was released in September of 2021, and it shot straight to number 1 on the Billboard 200. The project features the hit single Stop Playing With Me, which currently has over 23 million streams. And while some critics argued that Carti was jumping on the rage beats trend, he's been incorporating elements of the genre since his 2018 breakout hit Magnolia. So it's hard to argue that Carti isn't one of the founders of the genre. Now, what's funny about these three artists is that they each have a completely different style. Yeat's music is characterized by its manic energy and distorted vocals. Ken Carson leans more into the dark, ominous trap elements of the genre, and Playboi Carti incorporates rage beats into his lo-fi sound. But they've all found success within the same subgenre. This goes to show that there's room for many artists to thrive within one genre, and that's why we're likely to see many more artists incorporate rage beats into their music. But what do you think? Do you think rage beats is a fad, or is it here to stay? Let us know your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Until the next time.